Welcome back to motherfucking Billins World.
What's up, YouTube?
Excuse us. We had to turn the AC off. My bad.
Today's episode, we're covering the 2005 classic, the documentary by The Game.
One of my favorites. I'm gonna be real with you. So we're gonna have a ball with this. So
Oh man,
let's start off with this.
Memories. Oh my god.
Let me just open it up for Billin. When I heard the documentary, I was in a car 4 deep with my people. It was me, Lewis, Manny, Maurice, my little big brother. And we were listening to this joint, bro. I could not stop singing "How We Do." I don't need no love, especially I don't need no love.
Don't need your love.
Don't need your love.
Yeah.
This is how we do. The whole fucking album, really. What's the name of the fucking where he be like where Nate's on it?
Special.
You take a look in my eye, game. Tell him where you from, nigga.
It's West Side Story with 50 Cent.
Story,
50 Cent, not Nate.
Bro.
You said Nate.
But which one was Nate on? Where I'm from, you don't know. Where I'm from.
Yes, Nate Dogg is on that.
Yeah, that shit, man. That whole album.
R.I.P. Nate
man.
Dogg, by the way.
Facts. But let's get into it, man. This ain't my show. It's Billin's show. Billin.
Actually, yeah, man.
Where were you?
Here, wow, and whoa, and what a blessing to still, to be in clubs as a teenager when this album dropped too, because this album, and it's not even just about the club bangers. It's like the production, man, lyrics, and man, hip hop needed this album, man. To start off the first quarter of 2005. And I already was aware of Game. He was, up and coming in the industry, and I was anticipating this album, man. And it came to my surprise that back then, my mother had copped the album, and I woke up one morning, it was possibly a Sunday morning, and she popped the CD in and played it straight through, man. And you had the intro, and then track 2 starts off West Side Story, featuring 50, and God, man, that right there worked, man. That Dr. Dre and Scott Storch combo, which we've seen plenty times, but that worked magic with this album, man. Especially West Side Story. And How We Do, man. That was a club banger right there.
This is how we
Yes, man. High Tech, Timberland, Just Blaze on here, Needles, Buck Wild, man. So hey, man, straight classic, man, to me, timeless, and go back and listen if you haven't, man. Debut album from The Game, the documentary, man, and even salute to 50 Cent as well, man.
And 50 did his thing on this.
Yes, because whatever it is that supposedly these were supposed to be some of 50 songs for the Massacre, which dropped after this, but to think, man, and it's unfortunate that the whole beef, whatever, like. But,
yeah, that really messed up like a Dipset type of movement for them. Like they could have had a long run if they dealt without the bullshit.
And you couldn't deny it that the documentary and the Massacre, which I also reviewed, check that out, season 1. It was just like, wow, like both albums, how like they're in the club heavy, the radio songs,
G-Unit had shit on Smash at one time, and then they dropped the G-Unit album not too long after that. They were just on fire. The whole beef shit fucked it up. Favorite song off this joint?
Ooh.
I got too many. I keep it real.
Same, man. I mean, hate it or love it, man. That's such an iconic record, man.
Yeah,
That's
just
always
the intro.
Be dope. Yes. Yeah, shout out to Cool and Dre on that production.
Coming up, I was confused. I'm making a girl. That's how you sound on that shit.
Coming up, I was confused.
I'm kissing the girl, yeah.
Dreams, let's not forget the song Dreams.
Nah, the whole fucking album.
And it's like this album has a song for everybody and everything in a way.
Even that song, If I Could Start My Life from Scratch.
Yes, shout out to Marsha Ambrosius.
Like, bro, that album right there is one of them ones. It's always gonna be one of them ones for the longest, man. I don't give a fuck where you at, West Coast, East Coast, down south. If you was around when this Game album came out, you was listening to this shit, Hard Body Karate.
And I have to say, this next track I'm gonna mention, which I, heard on mixtapes prior to the album dropping, and I knew, like, yo, I need this Game album to drop. I'm copping it. Was the Higher. Like,
oh fuck, I forgot about Higher.
Yeah. Like, I was like, Game. I'm waiting on that Game album. Like, like this could have.
I do it. You know what else is my shit on this shit? Let me put you to the game. Let me put you on the game.
Yes.
Let me take that. Tell you what that shit.
This is Indo, produced by Timbo. Shout out to Timbaland.
Yeah, word.
Yes, multi-platinum album. Definitely right here. Man, 4.5 million.
That's how much it sold?
Mm-hmm.
Good album.
Yes.
Good album. I don't have any least favorite tracks on this. Do you?
Nah.
From 1 to 10, what you giving this?
This is about maybe like a 9.
I'm giving it a 9 too.
Yes.
Classic, definitely. But let's get into more detail about the album. I feel like this was a classic album because of everything that it covered. Like, you had something for the street dudes, you had something for the dudes who lost people, you had something for the dudes who fucking gangbang, got money, whatever. You know what I mean? It was on here for you. The beats were ridiculous, bro.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous,
Popping for the club, man. Like I said, it was just like that time to be at those parties, and one song could be Disco Inferno from 50, and it goes right into How We Do, and it's just
Timbaland did put you on the game. Right?
Correct. Yes, Timbaland.
Fuck, man.
Yes,
that guy's retarded, bro.
Yes. Kanye West produced Dreams. That's a, that record, man. Like, the war to be a rap legend has just begun. He wasn't lying, man. Salute the Game, man. Game, I have to say, like, despite the whole departing from G Unit, you could say probably right after this album dropped, it's like he still held his own. I felt like even with his career after that, So, the West Coast needed this. The world needed it, because this ain't just. I wouldn't just say it's a West. I mean, yeah, definitely a West Coast classic, but I feel this even worked and moved and shaked out here in the East. Out here in Jersey, New York, Connecticut, PA, all that worldwide. I mean, it's not it's not a multi-platinum album for no reason. R.I.P. Nate Dogg. I gave my, just due to the production on here, and even a 50.
I think all of the features on this were needed. Every feature that he put on this album was needed. The 50 feature, all of them, bro. All of these features were key. This album came out when nobody was really going crazy for the West Coast. At least I don't believe. I believe Game relit a fire for the West Coast that the West Coast was lacking at the time. I mean, of course, you had your legends around like Snoop and etc., but we talking like music coming from like a new guy that was like flaming hot. Game was him. The documentary is probably one of my favorite albums. Definitely one top 10. You know what I mean? Outside of Game's antics as a rapper and person, I feel like this album right here is really one of the must listen to albums. Like, if you're really trying to understand that era of hip hop and etc. The documentary, man, I don't know too many people who say this is whack. I never came across anybody who said, man, that shit whack, unless they were like a pure ass hater, bro. Like,
yeah, same. The only thing I would hear was that you would have the question, since the beef had took off after with 50 and G Unit, how some people would say they preferred Massacre to this, because it was like, oh, is it Massacre documentary? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and that's kind of tough to pick too, for my opinion.
I mean, your preference is your preference.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but to say that this album is trash, you're bugging.
And to think it even gave them nostalgia feel if you came up in an earlier time of how, because I do remember it might have been my mother or my aunt that said that, this album reminds me of NWA, you know, so, because remember it did have some NWA.
Oh yeah.
So of course, you know, Game Proof, he had the
yeah,
NWA
yeah,
and,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Compton
Bro,
rapper.
he's from Cali, bro. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. But yeah, definitely. I mean, at that time, really, Game was like a fresh, a breath of fresh air for the West Coast. Like,
Yes.
let's just keep it real. Like, they were making music, man. Nobody was making music like this music that was on documentary, man. This music was different. Like,
Yes, hip hop needed it.
It kind of like, it got you ready for everything else that was coming out of G Unit and everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like G Unit really was on fire, and they were a powerhouse when they added Game. They were a powerhouse regardless, but they really, it was like the big three almost. You know what I mean? You had fucking 50, Banks, Buck, Game, you know, and then Yayo came off the bench type shit. You know what I'm saying? But like they had some real good albums coming out. They had fucking Get Rich or Die Trying. They had
Hunger for More.
Hunger for More. They had the
Beg
album,
for Mercy, yeah.
Beg for Mercy. All of that shit that was coming out of there, Buck the World, all of that was fire.
Yeah, straight out of Cashville. All
I
that.
think at this time, Yayo was locked up, right?
No, Yayo was out. Yayo actually appears on this album on Running, produced by High Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't want a piece. I want my whole destiny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, so we could. I know I can't look past all the BS of the drama that followed it, but still, you can't take away from. I mean, you know, no more fun and games by Just Blaze. You know, like it's man.
Nah.
We ain't with Eminem.
Yeah. I forgot about the Eminem joint, man. Like, yeah. I mean, the whole Shady Aftermath and G Unit thing that they had going on at that time was just amazing. Like, Game was just like a great addition to what they had going on over there.
And also, I gotta bring up how it was definitely dope to see him, even though he has this persona, you know, the image of the blood, whatever, gangster from Cali, but he would, at the time, always have his like baby son around at that time. His son was just a baby, Harlem Quran, which he had this album ends with like Father Like Son featuring Busta Rhymes and shit.
That's a great song too.
Incredible, produced by Buck Wild, and I played the shit out of that one as well. And man,
I used to play Start My Life from scratch a lot because I really felt that song. It was something about the emotion that he was pouring on. Because like, I know we all got this big fucking like, oh, he's got to be a gangster because he blood and all the rest of this shit. But the fact that when you could hear a person's emotion through their music, it hit different, bro. You know what I'm saying? It really hit different, bro.
And clearly Game had no issue ever like showing his emotion and you know, not knocking people for that. You know what I mean? Makes him stand out, and he's only, you know, we're only human at the end of the day, y'all. But like, comment, subscribe. What you think? Documentary, classic or tragic?
Classic for me.
Classic here. We both give this album 9 out of 10.
What album is better than you? No, let's spice this up a little bit. 50's Get Rich or Die Trying or documentary? Oh, fuck. Excuse me.
I could just probably go with Get Rich or Die Trying just because of the impact it had and everything. And not taking that.
Get Rich or Die Trying set the world on fire.
That buzz, man, was just, you know.
If you want, the reason why I even compared the two, honestly, I'm not even going to pick, because to keep it real with you, they're both classics to me.
Yes.
I just wanted to spice it up for Billin'. But both of these albums are vital for the East Coast. Like when 50 Cent came out with Get Rich or Die Trying, that shit was vital for the East Coast on New York. You know what I mean? The South was starting to come up and et cetera and do more. And Game really did the same for the West Coast with the documentary album. I don't care who wrote what, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there were rumors that 50 wrote this song, that song. It might be a little obvious in some songs or whatever the case may be.
Church for Thugs.
Yeah.
You know.
But whatever, you know what I mean? Past the drama, past the nonsense and the politics and all the rest of this shit. When we talking about teamwork and whatever, whoever did whatever for this album, they did a great job. Whether it's 50, Game, Dre, the whole team, Scott Storch, whatever.
All producers, man.
They lit this album
Classic
up.
album. Go back and listen if you haven't, man. Timeless, man.
You got any song that you didn't like on this?
I wouldn't say that. It's probably just maybe a couple I don't
Listen to as hard
that
as
much.
the
Like
rest?
probably the Mary track, "Don't Worry," which was originally intended for Brandy, but they put Mary on it, and I believe they said on "Don't Need Your Love" has Faith Evans on it, and I'm
Man, that's my shit, boy.
saying produced it.
Faith Evans sung hot ass off on that song, boy.
Yeah, and I believe Tony Ayo said that was originally supposed to have Olivia.
Fuck
So,
that. Yeah.
like
That was better with Faith, because Faith was really like, you could feel that shit. Like, I don't need your love. I don't need your love. I don't want it. I don't need it. That shit was different, though. That shit was different.
yes, and Game even shouted out Prodigy, R.I.P. Said, saying he need because Havoc produced that track.
Yeah.
So and imagine a Prodigy verse on that. Man.
That would have been fire.
It's
a lot of stuff that we missed out on. But maybe they weren't just thinking about it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, who knows, like, who was doing what and all the rest of that shit. Regardless, great album. Features were great. And that's the thing about this album is, like, had a lot of features on it, but all the... Oh, damn. Fuck us, huh?